So before we get in this, you had brought up a question while we were recording the last couple episodes. And we recorded the first episodes back to back in the span of like 2 days. So I haven't really had a lot of time to sit with stuff yet. This has mostly been just raw reactions, right? One of the things you asked me about was, how does knowing about the existence of Shion, assuming that she's a separate person, change my reading of Chapter 1?
Mm-hmm.
And I stand by what I said right now, which is that until we have a reason to suspect she's involved, I don't see any reason to invoke it yet. If it is the case that like Mion winds up dying during this Watanagashi, as it seems like it's going to happen, then maybe that might cause me to revisit it and see like, oh, because like I had been bandying about like even talking about like, hey, Mion makes sense as the sixth of the dam site protest, the sixth conspirator, right? But she's still alive. How does that work? If I was forced to say how, if I had to make a read on it now, if I had to say for sure that Shion was involved and how would she be involved in Chapter 1, I would say that the person we have known since Chapter 1 is Shion and not Mion. And I say that because even before we were introduced to Shion, I noticed Mion seemed a lot more intense in this chapter. I didn't think of it at much because it wasn't so drastic that I was like, oh, this has to be a separate person. But with that possibility in mind, yeah, her version of her in Chapter 1 seems a whole lot more like this is someone trying to fill those shoes. If that makes sense. So that would be, if I had to say she was involved in Chapter 1, that's how it would be. And maybe that'll be the case. Again, we'll see whether or not Shion or Mion dies during the Watanagashi here, which would play into my theory of Mion being the last conspirator.
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, that's what we were talking about beforehand that I want to make sure we brought up here. Let's go see how these girls ruin some otaku's day. I guess I'm including Keiichi in that number.
Keiichi's day is already ruined.
Thus, the most powerful warband the world had ever known, trained by Mion, began to move. I was the oldest, the only boy, and I behaved like a leader, but when you consider our club activities, I was by far the most junior member. Individually, everyone beside me had terrifying combat capabilities. Yet if all of them combined their strengths to protect Shion, I couldn't even imagine. I was probably about to witness something terrible and awe-inspiring.
Sonozaki-san, 5 deluxe parfaits for table 7. Sure thing.
Shion carried the order to the tables. For Shion to carry all 5 parfaits without wobbling took so much effort that she didn't have the breathing room to pay attention to her feet.
Comrade.
I forget what voice I did.
It was definitely that.
Hey, comrades, here she comes yet again.
This time we'll have her spill everything on my pants and have her give an especially thorough wipey.
Oh, that reminds me. Like, because this did remind me of something else I wanted to bring up before we get... Actually, you know what? We are going to save this for an Umineko discussion thing at the very end.
Okay.
We're going to do an Umineko spoiler discussion at the end of this episode again.
Spoilers?
So do look forward to that.
It was the same wipey.
Why am I doing that? It was the same wipey scheme that had occurred just a short time earlier. This time, another one of them was trying it out for himself. The very depravity of these men was itself a full-out attack.
Rena, this is Keiichi. Ambush them around tables 5 and 6. Rena, do you copy?
The restaurant's uniforms, so cute. I want to take them home.
Shion, her bottom swaying while carrying the parfaits, was being chased by an equally swaying Rena. She was supposed to be escorting Shion, but Rena was instead transfixed by the back of her uniform. From a normal person's point of view, it was probably like having a fox guard a hen house. But when it comes to Rena, things are different.
Cute mode, 120% synchronization. We've won. When Rena's in that state, even the laws of physics don't apply.
Shion's legs, unsteady and defenseless, were being targeted by those sleazebags.
No, my comrades.
What?
Oh, because this is the otaku.
Now, my comrades.
I'll take this one if you don't want it.
Hail, mine for shining Lucifer the Harumi Mecha.
A leg snaked out to trip Shion's defenseless feet. He guards 3 of them at once. Thap, thap, thap.
Yeah.
It happened in an instant. The 3 fools writhed in pain as their legs bent at unnatural angles.
Ah.
What is this madness?
Rena teetered into view and gave them a warning?
No mischief, okay? No means no. No. Rena's going to be the one to take her home.
This girl, what's with that strange technique?
The human scum clutched at their bruised ankles as they passed out.
Haha, that's our Renaissance for you. No matter how many times I see it, it is always frighteningly quick.
Well, yeah, it's an unbreakable barrier. Anyone within a 2-meter radius who attacks Shion is completely obliterated by Rena. As Shion was making her rounds to the restaurant, there were people here and there collapsing with welts on their legs or hands.
Keiichi-kun, this is Rena. There's nobody left that'll bother Shi-chan. So I'm going to take her home now.
Rena, this is Keiichi. Good work. Please continue the mission. Also, permission to take home denied. I repeat, permission to take home denied.
Then I'll just look.
I guess just looking is fine. That wouldn't prevent her from guarding Shion, so I guess it's okay. Anyway, thanks to this, I knew who had tried to mess with Shion. Anyone who was clutching at their arm or leg while they were writhing in agony was basically branded by their bruises. Currently, I've finished identifying all enemy forces. Proceeding to the next phase. Sadako, this is Keiichi. What's your status?
This is Sadako. That's a really rude way to ask, you know. Keiichi-san, exactly who do you think I am? Also, notice I'm not latching on to you as a substitute older brother figure this time around. There's something to that, isn't there? We'll come back to that in a moment.
Sadako was in the kitchen. She had spread open a sketch of the restaurant on the counter and replete with ordered chits and their destinations and was now sorting through the freshly made desserts.
Hey, what are you doing? Now, Sonozaki-san, it's all right. Just leave it to her. Oh, I thought this was Ren.
No, this is a
star.
Oh.
Now, Sonozaki-san, it's all right. Just leave it to her. More importantly, we're taking all these orders out at once, so I'm counting on you.
The veteran waitress was briskly directing her juniors as the trays went out one after another. All the desserts that had passed through Sadako's hands were delivered at once.
Lots of cute desserts are coming.
I think you know this, but don't touch them, at least if you still value your life.
I know, but...
Certainly they were all incredibly cute-looking desserts. They were all works of art that you would enjoy before even taking your first bite. However, since Sadako had meddled with them, they were nothing more than unpredictable danger. Small bombs. Small bombs!
Small bombs?
Small bombs! Blissfully ignorant of that fact, with the men now stuffing their faces.
This is...
Almost right away, they realized something was wrong.
Sadako, what did you mix in there? Couldn't have been salt or Tabasco, could it? My, what are you saying, Keiichi-san? You said no mercy. I might not look like it, but when I get down to business, I like to be very thorough.
As she said that, she twirled a dubious file in her fingers before putting it away smartly into her pouch. What? That's what she keeps in there? Poison? Poison? Sadako just keeps poisons?
Just keeps a bag of rat poison at all times. Why not?
Rika, this is Sadako. The customers are moving. Escort duty is all yours.
Leave it to me.
Oh, come to think of it, I didn't see Rika-chan anywhere. Where could she be lurking? Clatter, clatter. Several men stood up suddenly from their seats, surveying the restaurant for something. That restless fidgeting, and that look of relief when they found the single placard hanging from the ceiling. And on the placard was the word restroom. Sadako carries laxatives around with her. They began a mad rush in that direction. It wasn't just one or two people. All the people that were branded as the enemy were standing up from their seats, clutching at their stomachs.
Ugh, I think I was a little too greedy. Where's the washroom?
You too. Not a number one, but a number two. I need to cash out, meow.
Where's the toilet? I found it. You're in for it now.
I felt dirty just thinking about what Sadako probably did to their desserts. The problem was how to follow this up. I was intrigued, so I followed the Russian men to the washroom. The narrow hallway connecting to the restroom was crammed with about 10 men.
What is this?
I peered over to see what was happening. Whoa! It seemed the toilet was clogged and backflowing, unleashing a loud gurgling sound and a terrible stench. No way to use it in this state. Damn that Sadako, what a frightening display of power. This wasn't Sadako's doing, it was divine punishment. Yeah, they were just unlucky. I'll just apologetically ask one of the employees here to clean it up.
I can't do my business like this.
What do we do, meow, comrades?
It was a brilliant combination of traps, but it would be better if there were one more push to the kicker. Seeing as it was Sadako, she wouldn't have overlooked that.
Now that it's come to this, it's time for the last resort.
Faced with the moral dilemma that a man only had one other option, the women's restroom.
Isn't using the girls' room going to get us in trouble?
I'm pretty sure there's no female customers today. Why didn't I think of that before?
Women's toilets are the best.
What a brazen bunch they are. The men's sweat now pouring from their brows made a mad rush to the girls' room without any hesitation.
Meep.
Ah!
There was a girl there, and it was Rika-chan. The men stood there frozen in various complicated poses indicating their surprise. Rika-chan also seemed dumbfounded by the sudden turn of events, but the look on her face was strangely perfect. This was all part of the plan as well. You sly dog, Rika-chan. I should never underestimate you.
This is, you see, mademoiselle. Meep.
The men's room is a bit dangerous at the moment, so we just want to borrow the toilet right here. Right, meow.
Meep.
But I guess it's not right after all. Right, my comrades.
Just by having a girl stand there in the restroom, I never knew it could put up such an overwhelming barrier. There was no way anyone would be brave enough to lift Rika-chan out of the way to try to do their business. The barrier magic of not wanting to hit a woman. This is the most they could do after all. If it were made in full club mode, for example, someone like me, they would plow through Rika-chan without a second thought. Now what are you gonna do, you fat asses? The price for tormenting Shion still hasn't been paid.
If you're in trouble, I can help you.
That would be less appreciated. How would you do that?
You can use one of the toilets outside. I'll show you to them.
That would be perfect. Please. At this rate, it'll end up becoming group enema puree.
It's kind of gross. It's just here's a grosser in a way that was kind of elided in chapter 1. Rika-chan, with a pleasant smile on her face, guided them with a casual stride in her step. In this race against time, her slow pace was sadistic torture.
Mademoiselle, is this toilet far from here?
We'll get there soon.
Obeying Rika-chan's directions, they were about to leave the restaurant.
Keiichi-kun, finish it. Give him help.
Yeah, leave it to me. I spread my arms out and blocked them as they tried to leave the restaurant.
What is the meaning of this? We're at DEFCON 1 here.
Listen up, you tubs of lard. You know what happens if you even set one foot outside this door, right?
What is the meaning of this preposterous statement?
Ha 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 ha. Look, it's written right here on the ticket. Not valid for re-entry. See?
You're free to use any toilet you want, but the moment you step outside the door, you cannot come back.
Boom.
You'll remember this.
I don't want to guide anybody who says scary things like that.
Everyone panicked as Rika-chan began to turn back. They could only figuratively and literally fall in line. All the waitresses also lined up to see them off.
Thank you very much for coming.
We shall return.
The bell rang playfully as the door shut behind them.
How pathetic. Too easy.
Haha, we did it. Yay.
Rena and Sadako clapped their hands together. Ugh, I couldn't hold a candle to those guys by myself, but when we get the group together, we send them packing like a herd of cattle.
With opponents this weak, any of us could take them on by ourselves. Keiichi-san, you need to up your game.
I was loath to admit it, but Sadako was right. Ugh, damn it. One day I'll be strong enough to be worthy to stand alongside them. But really, I'm glad we were able to protect Michan's little sister. No, there's none of those bad people who were pulling pranks left.
You're blessed to have such wonderful friends, Sonozaki-san. Oh.
The veteran waitress was also smiling.
How am I supposed to know when it's the veteran waitress?
I don't know. After the herd was sent packing and had calmed down completely inside the restaurant, Shion was flustered as she glanced between us and the now empty seats.
You did that for me? I mean...
I paid it forward. Shion's expression was somewhere between happy and guilt-ridden. Her face had turned slightly red as she ran into the kitchen.
Whoa, Shi-chan is cute. They really are twins.
Given Shion's personality, there was no way she'd thank us directly. We might have been a bit excessive in our means, but I'm really glad we were able to save her. I think you know this already, but Sonozaki-san is very... Oh.
I think you know this already, but Sonozaki-san is very grateful. As a representative of the floor staff here, I also extend my gratitude.
Sure. The applause quickly spread throughout the entire restaurant. Not only the other waitresses, but also the other customers that were genuinely there to enjoy the desserts. Everyone was lauding our efforts. When we had mostly finished eating and were filling out the survey, Rika-chan made her return. Oh, good work. Did everything go all right? You took a while.
I'm sorry, I got lost on the way back. It was a lot of trouble. Rika-chan likes to stray down some pretty strange roads, so she gets lost pretty often.
Does she? Does she? How did she get lost guiding people to a nearby toilet?
Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, because a lot of strong points that more than make up for that. Hands off my girlfriend!
I can see that. That expression in the girls' room. You're quite the thespian.
Keiichi was being horrible. He was thinking, if I were in their shoes, I'd just run her over and rush into the washroom.
What? Did what I was thinking show up on my face again?
Keiichi-kun was a pervert.
No, I mean, ugh. I could laugh about it then, but a few days later, a newspaper headline read, 10 unidentified men were taken into custody in Hideyama. The men claimed they had traveled from Shishibone City by foot to find a toilet, but the spot they were taken into custody was an unknown amount of kilometers away from Shishibone. When I read that article, I realized how terrifying Rika-chan really was.
Well, thanks for treating me. I'm happy that you called me here today.
Oh, are you going home already? You can stay a little longer.
I was in the middle of
Rika,
organizing
no.
some drawers.
Rika, no. I passed.
If I leave it like that, I won't be able to put out the futon.
No, I guess that's true.
Oops, looks like I called her at a bad time.
Yeah, when I phoned her, she was in the middle of cleaning her room, but she still came.
Well, it was an emergency, so it couldn't be helped.
Besides that, I got to eat a lot of sweets, so I'm very happy.
Thank you for today. I'm sorry for calling you all out so suddenly.
Tell Shion I said bye.
I'll be taking my leave then. Renaissance, please take your time.
Yeah, I will. Later.
Rika and Sadako, in a good mood, horsed around with each other as they left. And then Rena's like, and now for my part.
I'm just gonna stay here and stare at the waitresses until they kick me out.
Rena? Rena, hey! Hey! While Rena and I were having a discussion about the dessert we just ate, Shion arrived with some coffee.
Oh, did the two little ones leave already?
Hearing them called the little ones was so strange, I inadvertently burst out laughing. Apparently they were in the middle of cleaning, so they went home. They were in the middle? Rika was in, not Sadako. Unless Sadako was also in the middle of cleaning, because they still live together. No. Sorry. Shion had brought enough coffee for 4 people.
I heard from my senior. It seems you went through a lot of trouble for my sake.
Don't thank us. One of y'all is going to have to clean up the men's bathroom.
It was no trouble at all. None other than Shi-chan was in a pinch after all. Oh, is it alright if I call you Shi-chan? It matches with me-chan, so I thought it'd be cute. Ah, well, whatever you want.
Shion seemed a bit hesitant when Rena started talking to her. Rena's pretty sharp about something, so Shion was probably worried that Rena would find out she was Mion after talking like this. Keiichi, master of making up a thing and just running with it. Just running with it. Oh, everyone around me is telling me something different? I I know. I'm just going to ignore them and assume that I know why they're lying to me. Shion said she'd have work soon and hurried off back to the kitchen, leaving behind coffee for just the two of us.
She was a bit upset with Rena. Maybe she thought I was being too friendly.
Oh, she's just embarrassed.
Still, they really do look the same. Instead of twins, it's like there's another Mii-chan.
They look the same, but the atmosphere around them, or rather their insides, are completely different. I think those types of twins are pretty interesting, though.
You think that, Keiichi-kun? I think they're identical on the inside, too.
It somehow became silent. Rena was just staring at the pattern the milk made on the surface of her coffee without saying a word.
Both full of blood.
What?
Intestines also. Intestines also.
I mean, yes. Weird thing to fixate on, but anything else come to mind?
Just someone like me who can never stop talking, it was a rather uncomfortable moment. Rena's off-put mannerism seemed to imply I had said something I shouldn't have. What do you think? If they look the same, but the atmosphere around them, or rather their insides, are completely different, I think those types of twins are pretty interesting, though. I think... That unpleasantness carried on for a little while.
Rena, you said it today, right? Mion was hurting.
Did I say something like that?
Don't play dumb with me. You definitely said it on the way home from school.
Rena answered by laughing while continuing to play dumb, questioning if she said that. As thick-headed as I was, I had a faint realization. Rena wanted to say that I was the one who had hurt Mion, but when? No! What she's saying is that she can't really share that with you, Keiichi.
Me? Hypothetically, if something like that happened. It's not something I did out of malice, right? I continued the conversation, but left out the assumption that I had hurt Mion.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So what does she think? What is she actually responding to then? Why is my mouse... Weird. All right, we're going to deal with that another time. Okay.
Cursor's on vacation. Goodbye.
So she doesn't... So the assumption left out here is that that Keiichi is at fault. So she's...
Does your...
Weird.
Does the gauntlet have a mouse cursor control thing that is stuck to one side by any chance?
Oh, nope.
I bet it
does,
that.
but it might be that. Oh well, there's no way to know.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's true. I don't think Keiichi-kun had any bad intentions.
Rena replied, also leaving out the assumption that I had hurt Mion, but that confirmed it. Great. Just so much of this just comes back to Keiichi assuming things.
I don't know how it happened, but it seemed that I had hurt Mion, and Rena was upset with me due to the fact that I hadn't realized it.
I don't want you to misunderstand. It's not like Rena is mad at you.
Seeing right through what I was thinking, Rena said that as she smiled, even more gently than usual.
It's just that, how do I say this? It's hard.
If I made a mistake, please do say so clearly. I'm so thick-headed I disgust even myself. If there's something I should apologize for, then I want to know even a little quicker so I can make up for it.
I don't think that Keiichi-kun made a mistake. Depending on how you look at it, Mii-chan might be the one who's being unfair. Taking the stance that the girl was the one being unfair might be unfair in itself.
What Rena said was draped in mystery. Unfortunately, I had no idea what she meant.
Was it?
It seems pretty draped in mystery.
Not if your understanding of it is the thing where like Mion is currently frustrated and a little bit anxious because she thinks she might die. Rena, as I assumed from the last chapter, knows whatever this big conspiracy is. And so Mion could confide in Rena, but Rena shouldn't be sharing that around. And she's like, Keiichi, it's not your fault. It's you know, it's not fair of her to put that on you when you have no idea what's even happening.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's still, I will say, remarkably, my understanding of events from Chapter 1 is still holding up remarkably well.
The only thing I got out of it was that I had said or done something to inadvertently hurt Mion. I'm begging you, Rena. Mion is one of my best friends. I don't want to leave something between us that could cause problems later on, so tell me, how did I hurt her?
I can't tell you. You need to realize something like this for yourself.
Rena was smiling like she always did, but spoke bluntly. The fact that she had the strength of will surprised me for a moment. I'm asking you because I can't figure it out, you know? My tone had unintentionally become harsh. Rena was also surprised for a moment, but quickly returned to her flat demeanor.
Well then, I guess just a hint is fine. This is special, okay?
Sorry, please. I'll think about this seriously. Rena looked around the restaurant searching for Shion. Shion was working enthusiastically, but without confidence as usual.
Shi-chan, if she ties her hair up, is impossible to tell apart from Mi-chan, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if Mi-chan let down her hair, would she be impossible to tell apart from Shi-chan?
Probably. What does that have to do with anything?
What if that her being the younger twin was a lie? That she was just Mi-chan pretending to be her sister? What would you think?
Rena was sharper than her daily behavior belied. I was hesitant in verbally affirming that, but that was the right answer. Might be unfair to answer a question with another question, but if, like you say, Mion is just pretending to be Shion, what purpose would that serve? After maintaining the silence for a while, Rena glanced at the clock.
That's what I want you to think about. That was maybe too much of a hint.
No, it's not. That fits so remarkably well with my understanding of what's going on right now. I'm actually like a little bit excited here. I'm like, did all that close reading pay off? Am I like, do I have like at least a really generally good idea of what's happening?
We'll see. There's only one way to find out.
I'm so excited.
After thanking me for the dessert, Rena stood up from her seat.
Sorry, I was asked to buy a few things, so it's about time I left. Is it okay with you if you tell Shion I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye?
Yeah, I'll tell her.
Sorry.
Huh?
That Rena is so short-tempered. Sorry for getting angry. Keiichi-kun isn't the only one at fault here.
Rena was harsh in her apology, but I was the one who really should have apologized.
This is my angry voice.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't you tell? I'm furious.
I could tell. It was... there's no other voice that I imagine you having when you are frustrated or angry.
I think to Mi-chan it's something that doesn't bother her much anymore. So if you want to forget the whole thing happened, that's fine too. But you see, as a girl, I'd hoped that Keiichi-kun realizes it by himself and comes to apologize of his own volition.
Switching to cute mode only at the end, she disappeared in the direction of the register.
On your theory, what's Keiichi have to apologize for?
Constantly mixing the two of them up and assuming they're the same person.
That's fair. Keiichi has a lot of things to apologize for.
Being one dense motherfucker.
While I was staring into space, someone suddenly tapped me on the shoulder.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Kept me waiting, huh?
I'm finally done.
It was Shion who had changed into her street clothes. She flashed a smile while greeting me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for today. Everything was delicious. We were all really happy with it.
Oh no, don't mention it. But I'm glad everybody had fun. Huh? That girl that was just here left as well?
She had some shopping to do. She said she was sorry for leaving without saying anything.
I see. Well then, should we leave as well? Even though I'm off duty, I'm still nervous around the workplace.
We ended up strolling around without any destination in particular. I'd been sitting the entire time, so I was in need of a breath of fresh air. When we left, the sky had already become draped in a veil of darkness.
It's gotten dark already. Even though I promised I'd be finished early.
Shion seemed upset that there wasn't much time left.
Oh well, at least we've got a little time to chat like this.
Saying that, Shion set out for the tree-lined boulevard behind the station. The front of the station was slowly becoming crowded with businessmen heading home.
Well then, I guess I should start with an introduction. I was mistaken for my sister when we first met, so we never got to properly introduce ourselves.
I could only smile and laugh wryly.
my name is Shion Sonozaki. I'm only similar to my older sister in appearance. My sister is rough around the edges and hot-headed, but I'm a composed and methodical person.
Okay, so one thing the Sonozaki's twins share in common is that they're great at reading their sister and terrible at figuring out themselves.
Although,
Composed and methodical. Although maybe that is a front. Maybe.
there's also the matter of, like, didn't Mion describe Shion as being, like, really mean and cold-hearted? And then we meet Shion and she's not that at all?
Well, I mean, it's not as if mean people don't know how to be nice.
That's true.
It could be that she's mean in ways that aren't, like... mean girls exist for a reason. It's a thing. I remember what Rena and I had been talking about earlier. I said they looked the same, but their personalities were different. Well, Rena said they were both the same. I don't know what tipped her off, but Rena figured out that Shion was Mion. Also related to that, she said that I had hurt Mion. Rena had given only one hint. That was, why was Mion pretending to be Shion? It's backwards. It's backwards. Shion pretending to be Mion. Never mind. You know how I said I wasn't running with it? I'm running with it now. That's exactly what was happening in chapter 1. Committing. Shion, what do you hear about me from Mion?
My sister seems to have taken a liking to you. She talks about you quite a bit. Like about club activities, about getting pranked and pranking you back, boyish kinds of stories. You really do get along.
Bullyish kind of stories, huh? Come to think of it, I think there was something Shion told me before.
Kei-chan, you don't think of my sister as a girl, do you?
And I think the coded thing there is that also, like, you're not thinking of my sister as a potential romantic partner.
Yep.
Right, because there's that underlying assumption to that sentence as well. Is that what happened when that hurt Mion? Mion herself said that she wished she had been born a boy, and that being a girl didn't suit her. She said... so much gender everywhere. What are we gonna do? We can't contain it.
Why can't I hold all this gender?
Oh man, you see that over there? My phone. It's going off the hook. Trans Rena stocks continuing to climb. We're riding these ones to the moon, baby. She said a lot of things to that effect, did she not?
Kei-chan, you look like you're having fun.
Huh? No, that's not true. I'm miserable.
Even though you're bad at hiding things, you sure like to lie, don't you? Still, I don't hate you for it.
Wow, seen right through. Saying that, she only lightly chopped my forehead. Chop. Even though Shion was enjoying herself, I was still trying to figure out how I had hurt Mion. I was having a hard time figuring out the riddle that Rena had left me with.
Hey, see that? Don't you think it's pretty? You think even a guy would find it pretty?
Yeah, it is pretty pretty. Why? Shion was having fun window shopping, dragging me all about by all sorts of stores I would normally never enter. It wasn't like she was begging me to buy her or anything. And I wasn't getting bored either. It was just something to talk about as we walked around. In an easygoing way, we browsed through numerous stores, discussed all sorts of topics I knew nothing about, but I didn't lose interest. I had the feeling she was good at conversation.
Kei-chan, is this your first time doing this kind of thing?
Yeah, it is. If someone didn't bring me out into these accessory shops, I don't think I'd set foot in one in my entire life.
Well, I get the sense you've worn them anyway.
What?
The accessories.
What accessories? What do you mean? Who told you? Mion!
Not that. I meant more like this.
That back when Shion suddenly linked her arm with mine.
Hey, you don't have to act so surprised. It's not so embarrassing to link arms with a girl, is it?
Shion's expression was a little bit miffed, but suggestive at the same time. I'm not that embarrassed. If you want some arms, I can spare one or two. Here you go.
Kei-chan, you really know how to entertain someone.
If you that is a good recovery, actually. Be like, wait, you need a spare arm? Here you go. I'd be happy to offer one. Yeah, you know what? No, all right.
I see why my sister took a liking to you.
If you don't want my arm, then I'm taking it back.
Aw, come on. I'm happy to have it.
Laughing in good spirits, Shion locked her arm with mine. My heart skipped a beat.
Oh
no! Arrhythmia.
This question might be a bit mean, but I want to enjoy seeing your reaction. Kei-chan, have you ever been arm in arm with a girl before? Around a bonfire at a field trip doesn't count, by the way.
Oh, that little devil. She was asking the question knowing full well what the answer would be. Well, if field trips are out, then this is pretty rough, huh?
I thought as much.
That impish laugh. It really is the same as Mion's. You really are Shion, right? You're not just Mion saying that you're Shion, are you?
Are you thinking that my sister might pretend to be me?
I thought you were twins until just now, but that way you mess around with me is just like Mion.
You're just saying that. You can tell us apart easily.
What do you mean by that?
If my sister was holding your arm like this, would you get nervous?
I would, but for different reasons. I'd be completely on edge worrying about when she was going to go for an arm lock.
And you think I can't?
I don't think you want to, necessarily. Shion laughed so hard that she had to hold on to her sides. Hey, is it really that funny? You're tearing up.
No, it's just... I was just thinking about how hopeless my sister is. She isn't even able to get a young man hot and bothered while she's arm in arm with him.
Yeah, because now it seems... Because if you also, think about why Shion might be doing this, she's trying to get Keiichi's favor, right? But in a way, she's kind of using him to ensure that Mion is the one that dies. Right?
Perhaps so.
I still don't know why they're kind of interchangeable in that way, because it seems like Mion might have jumped in to save her sister at first, so I don't know why she would feel like there's a reason to go back on it now, but right? Because there's still that whole unspoken tension there. It's like, if Mion did jump in to save Shion from the foreman, then why would she go back on it now? Yeah. She really is... That's you.
She really is a failure as a woman.
Oof. Remembered once again that I'd heard someone say that before.
Sometimes I think that my sister would have been better off if she'd been born a boy. If she did, I might have fallen for her. Just kidding.
I've got a list of things, bullet points about that sentence. You want to...
Not really.
Got 15, 20 minutes? Mion did say something about wanting to be born a boy, yeah.
My sister is on the fence as to whether she wants to be a boy or a girl. Well, it's the price she pays for living an awkward lifestyle. Just leave her be.
What?
I'm not transphobic. I just think she's weird and awkward.
Okay. The part I hate is her being weird and awkward, not the part where she can't figure out her gender.
That's fine.
That's fine. It's the incidental stuff that comes from that I... Well, you've been saying some pretty harsh things about your sister right now.
Mion has some soft parts to her that I don't like.
The way Shion talked somehow sounded cold. Shion, do you not get along with Mion?
Well, we get along well enough. Still, there's a few things for which I can't forgive her as her sister. Hey, look at that. Don't you think it's cute? Look at that, it's a change of topic.
Wow, a change of topic over there. Okay, so then, I think the part in my model I need to figure out now then is, who was it that was originally attacked by the foreman? It was originally reported as Mion. But was it Shion? I'm trying to figure out where the tension, why it would even come up in the first place that either one of them could be the one to die, and that's why it would even be up in the air. There was some other dynamic there. I think I'm 85% of the way there on this now. I there's got to be something about their dynamic. If Mion, as I read her, seemed very ride or die. You gotta commit. You gotta commit. You gotta give it everything until the end. That Mion would die if it meant saving her sister, I think, in a pact with 5 other people to create this curse, right? Or be continuing to try to help herself out. She wouldn't try to get out of it, so why?
Maybe it's an Ayanami Ray situation. They come out of a clone tank and they just need to have at least one at any given time.
Maybe... Okay. Yeah, great. Thanks, honey. Maybe...
I'm gonna have to think. I'll think about that when I'm not on camera, so I'm not just sitting here on a dead air talking to myself. How about? I turned to look around where Shion was pointing. What was there was the familiar display window of a toy shop. The same shop that was the stage for the incident that occurred during last Sunday's club activities. What Shion was pointing at was a display with a plethora of adorable dolls that looked like the sort of girls would like. I wonder why girls like these sort of things.
It's because they're cute. Don't you think they're cute, Kei-chan?
I'm a man, so I don't really get that vibe.
Now, which one do you think is the cutest out of all these, Kei-chan?
Shion, pulling on my arm, motioned to the row of dolls. Man, she really does just kind of put on that meek persona when she's at work for the big bucks, huh? And again, get that bag. No disrespect. I mean, maybe the fact that we have a teenager working at a maid cafe is something we shouldn't be not in favor. Down vote. They were lined up like they were close sisters taking a commemorative photo. A few of them seemed strangely familiar. Well, I've seen those four over there somewhere.
Oh, I guess they really are famous. If even you know about them.
Shion sounded impressed.
These are new dolls that were just brought in from England. They still have some available here, but around the cities, they have trouble keeping them on the shelves. Even though they're supposed to be inexpensive, it seems they're starting to come at a premium.
Ooh, I don't know what they'd be referring to here. If they don't mention it by name, I'll look up between episodes, see if I can figure out what they're referencing. I guess girls still like these kinds of things even as they grow up.
It depends on the person, but I think girls who don't like dolls and stuffed animals are pretty few and far between. My favorite is my land shark.
Oh, that is quite a joy. Vivian has the land shark for this recording.
Even my tomboy of a sister said these were adorable.
Oh? Well, even Mion says they're adorable. That is pretty amazing. That's right, I just remembered. The store owner gave this one to us after Sunday's event. Except for Mion, who was a relative, everyone had gotten something.
I really do think that one's the best. That frilly dress really gives it something.
That's it. That's the one the shop owner gave to me.
So it seems.
Shion replied softly but clearly.
Uncle Yoshiro gave those out as thanks for helping liven things up at Sunday's event. It seems he gave them to the 4 friends my sister brought along. So, you got the doll with the dress then. What did you think? It was really cute, right?
As a man, there's no way I would think it was cute.
So, what'd you do with the doll?
You want to give it to me? Get me some money? I wasn't really going to do anything with it, so I gave it to someone.
To who?
And Shion laughed. I could hear an audible click run through my head like the piece of a jigsaw puzzle snapping into place.
Oh, this is going to be Uncle Yoshiro. Thank you very much for today, everyone. You made the event turn out great. It's not much, but here's something extra for today. Ah, Uncle Yoshiro, isn't there something for me too?
My, quite an adorable one, is it not?
When Sadako and Rika-chan opened up the bag, there were cute stuffed animals inside.
Wow, they're so cute. Can I take them home? I really can?
Which means there's something for me too. Whoa, I got a pretty adorable one. It's a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress, one you'd use to play house. Rena's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Sadako was the same, and Rika-chan too? I see. It wasn't just Rena, Sadako, and Rika-chan. There was one other person who seemed jealous.
Haha, Kei-chan got the one that fits him the least.
Not wanting for her expression to give it away, she had said that to hide her embarrassment.
Well, I guess it's cute and pretty. I can admit it's adorable, but a doll with changeable clothes is... nah.
Oh, sorry, that is Keiichi. Guess it's cute and pretty, I can admit it's adorable, but with a doll with changeable clothes is...
If you walked around with it, then you'd be treated like a weirdo starting tomorrow. Definitely.
Mion's usual teasing way of talking. Looked around to see who I should give the doll to. Mion was right in front of me. Mion was the only one who hadn't received a present, so I thought about giving it to her, but I did not.
Huh? You're giving it to me? To Rena? Thank you.
Turning away from Mion's covetous gaze, I gave the doll to Rena. Is that what happened there, Keiichi?
One wonders.
One really does wonder, huh? I don't get the impression that Mion was the kind of... When Mion says, I don't really like those things, maybe that's what she means?
Mion's smile bore into my back. There was no way I couldn't have noticed. Why did I not give it to Mion? Since Mion was the only one who didn't get anything, wouldn't it have been standard practice to give it to her? No? I mean, her uncle gave it to you for helping running the event, and Mion got a paycheck. At that time, I noticed something was wrong. That's why I said it. Oh, just protecting myself. If I didn't give it to Rena, then walking the streets at night would be scary.
Change the world, my final message. Oh, I'm back.
Huh?
Haha, no doubt, no doubt.
Thought about giving it to Mion, but it just didn't feel right. Something dark flickered briefly in Mion's eyes, but at the time I didn't notice it. I had thought to give it to Mion, so why didn't I?
You know it. I sometimes wonder why I wasn't born a boy.
Mion herself had said that with a laugh, so I didn't realize that I had hurt her.
That's right. Mion is more suited for cool things, so I think having you help out here was the right choice. Oh, what? Oh.
That's right, Mion is more suited for cool things, so I think having you help out here was the right choice.
Huh?
Shion asked, probably thinking she misheard me. That uniform would never suit someone like Mion, but if it's Shion, I think it works.
Huh, you mean that,
Shion, like Rena often does, spaced out and turned bright red. Mion seemed really happy. She seemed happy that I complimented Shion. Saying that it didn't suit Mion, but that it suited Shion. Saying that it suited her seemed to make her happy.
Mion's...
Oh, Mion's younger twin sister. She's got a different personality, but she's a dead ringer for Mion.
That's right, we look similar, but our personalities are completely different. I'm very kind and thoughtful, but Shion has a cold and scary personality.
I think when you were born, Shion got all the feminine aspects. Unlike Mion, she's a cute and cheerful girl. Mion made a strange face that was both angry and happy at the same time. Seemed like she was happy I said Shion was cute. How can you... It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You're noticing so much, and yet you're so wrong. Keiichi! You thick-headed... You've got stuff going on in your life. I'm not gonna blame you, Keiichi. You seem like you weren't really happy before coming to Hinamizawa, so I'm not here to knock you for finally having friends for once and not knowing how to deal with friends. But come on, man. Come on. You're killing me over here. Sneaking a look inside the box, to say that she just put some of the leftovers inside would have been a lie. There was an elegant meal stuffed inside. It's really okay? It's not like a ton of hot sauce mixed in or anything, right?
Geez, I'm not my sister. I wouldn't do that kind of thing.
I just spilled seltzer on myself. I'm so bad at... You think I've been doing this for a while, I wouldn't get to the point where I spill seltzer on myself, but no. I did.
If you don't like it, you don't have to force yourself. I'll just go home and eat it myself.
I'm not my sister. That was how she said it. Shion was insistent that she wasn't Mion. She was saying that she was Shion and that I shouldn't think of her as Mion. When Mion was Shion, it carried special meaning. You are so close. You are so close!
Michan is mysterious, right? She's a girl, but it's like she's a guy.
That was what Rena said. Rena, notable person without any gender going on whatsoever.
But you see, even that Michan is actually really feminine.
Rena, how much did Mion pay you exactly?
That's not true. Geez, I'm trying to have a serious conversation, you know? You know?
Rena began to pout. Now probably wasn't the right time to joke around.
Michan is the club president, so she's trying hard to lead everybody. But she's really a very cute girl. I really don't want you to forget that, Keiichi-kun.
There never was a riddle to begin with. Rena was saying the answer right from the beginning.
So then I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
I know Kei-chan didn't mean anything wrong. At least he didn't intend to.
Yeah. Oh, this is all Rena.
Yeah, Keiichi-kun isn't the type of person to hurt others. So there's no reason for you to feel hurt by this, Mi-chan. Then...
Oh, this is what he imagined the conversation between them is. I see.
Then what was it? Frustration? Sadness? I don't know at all. Did you want it? The doll, I mean. It wouldn't really help even if I gave you the doll I got, would it? You're right. How about this, Mi-chan? Try asking Keiichi-kun. You might be able to solve the problem if you tackle it head on. There's no way I could do that. Is it too embarrassing to do that now? I want to try again as somebody other than Mion.
Uh-huh.
This time I can be more honest with myself. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty fond of the relationship I have with Kei-chan. This might be selfish, but one more time. Keiichi-kun will definitely notice. I wonder if that's true.
So Mion just also has a crush on Keiichi, or at least feels slighted that Keiichi doesn't even think of her in that way. Either she's straight. I don't, because it doesn't read to me as like she has a crush on him. I think it reads more as like she's like I am still a girl, right? It's like it's like I get that I don't know. Mion seems to have very complicated feelings about her own gender.
And that's okay.
But she's getting frustrated at Keiichi. For either because she still has a crush on him, or she's just frustrated that she isn't being seen in that way by someone close to her in age. She's been around for a while that doesn't, and thinks of Rena immediately as a potential romance partner, but not her.
So
there's a whole soup of things going on. And that's not mutually exclusive, right? It's still possible for her to feel like, I wish I was more a boy, but also I feel kind of slighted that he doesn't even see me in this way. Like, gender's complicated. That's not exclusive.
So you have a theory of the sort of misapprehension Keiichi is laboring under this time.
Yes.
How do you think that's all going to go south this time?
Well, I've been postulating that either Mion or Shion's going to die, and it's going to wind up in him and Keiichi wind up making the choice between the two of them, but for the wrong reason.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Somehow this is going to contort to be he's going to say something to either Mion or Shion, completely missing the point of what they're feeling bad about. That's going to make them feel so bad about themselves that they're going to be okay with dying.
Messed up.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about this. We'll see when we actually get to the Watanagashi. It's called Watanagashi. I don't see any cotton drift in here.
It will.
The only cotton drift
happen.
I see is the cotton flutting around that skirt. Swishy, swishy.
Rena will cheer you on too, so let's find a way for you to ease your sadness. Believe me, I won't let anything happen that'll make you cry, Mi-chan. I'll believe. Keiichi-kun will definitely come to understand. He'll say he's sorry for saying something so callous. Then he'll bring you to that store and buy that doll for you as a present. Yeah. And then, Mi-chan, you'll say thank you. You can't fool around. Say it honestly. Yeah.
R07, why are you so good at this?
If I said I wanted it, Kei-chan, would you buy it for me?
Now she's asking for money. Okay, now, see... Mion said it quietly, doing her best to quell her embarrassment. It would have reflected... Or it could just be like, we're on a date, and you're really bad at taking hints on like how I want to get closer to you. That doesn't have to be that kind of reading into it.
Could just be that Shion is also jealous and Like,
yes, actually, like Shion is like, huh? You gave a doll to because she gave Rena that look, right? Because you're like, oh, Rena's the one that got a doll from you.
mhm.
Rena's clearly the one you have eyes for. I need to help you get eyes from me here. I would have reflexively begun to lightly tease her to hide my embarrassment, but unlike Mion, I quelled that impulse. All right, Mion, as thanks for everything until today. I'll buy you whichever one you want. My voice cracked with the unfamiliar words. In order to not lose to Mion trying her best, I tried my best as well.
But I'm not Mion, I'm Shion.
Shion, then. I'll buy it for you, Shion. At some point, I get that you might be infatuated with it, but at some point you gotta be like, okay, hold on, what's going on with you? You're not just messing this up. You've got some weird misapprehension here.
Yeah, it's like,
And if
you
I'm gonna
obviously know that my name is Shion, and you keep on pointedly calling me a
my
different
sister.
name. And that's gotta mean something.
You pointedly keep calling me my sister. My sister, who I've been trying to dissuade you of the notion of being romantically attracted to.
And who we've just been talking about in the past 5 minutes.
It's like, come on. Are you what's going on in there? You need Shion looked down, red-faced, as she pointed at the doll on the dress through the store window.
Is it really okay? The one in the dress is a little expensive, isn't it?
It's not a matter of price, it's a matter of feelings.
When I was saved by Keiichi from those unsavory customers today, I was really happy. Even though my coworkers didn't save me, Keiichi did. You grabbed me by the shoulder really firmly, right? Right then, you were really cool. Even then, I was so embarrassed I couldn't properly express my gratitude.
I clamped my hand down on Shion's head and ruffled her hair roughly, like how I would to Rena and the others. When I did that, Shion, like Rena, would have spaced out and blushed slightly. You don't have to think too hard about it. I should have just given it to you back then. If I did that, everyone would have had a good laugh. Shion didn't respond. She turned red like she was trying to hold back both laughter and tears. She's like, I'm so glad you like me, but also still think I'm my sister. Girl, I don't know what else is going on in your life. Categorically, you deserve better. Like, separate to whatever else you've got going on, you deserve better. What is it about Keiichi that is so... Is it because your sister has him? Like, help me understand here. What is it about this doofus maloofus riding it on a fucking white horse, right?
And immediately getting his ass kicked.
What is it you find so goddamn irresistible about him, huh? I need to know. I'll go buy it for you right now. Wait right there.
I'll go with you.
Saying that, she grabbed onto my arm once again. She wasn't trying to be stoic anymore.
I think I know why my sister likes you. Hey, is it alright if I start to like you a bit too, Kei-chan?
So... I see. So Mion does have feelings for... Despite also having, like, the, I wish I was a guy feeling, she also still has feelings. Hear me out. Mion, transmask gay? Transmask gay? I'm gonna put that right there on the table and how do we all feel about this? Take a look at it from different angles, get a feel for it. Are we satisfied with this? Do we like this idea? Yes? No, question. I see a question in the audience. What can I do? What's your question, ma'am?
How would you say this will affect gender stocks?
Gender stocks have been doing so great lately they can only keep rising.
Excellent.
The unfamiliar situation made my head start to spin. Whoa, what am I doing? I had reached my limit. Smiling wryly to hide my embarrassment, I dragged Shion into the store with me. Pardon me. I want to buy that doll in the dress that's in the window. Man, when's the last time you ever went into a store and said, I want to buy the thing in the window? I guess this isn't really unimportant, but like working at a bookstore especially, you don't put shit in the window you actually want to sell because it's going to get sun bleached.
Yeah.
And no one wants to buy a book with a sun bleached cover even if it reads just the goddamn same. Oh my god. The bookstore I used to work at, I returned there a month or two ago?
Yeah.
We went back there. They had moved the manga section up in front of the large bay windows so that all of the manga and stuff, like the book where the artwork actually matters, and put it so it was all getting sun bleached. And I'm like, that's the one thing you don't put there. Anyone could tell you that. You put like the reference books or something where no one actually cares what the cover looks like. You don't put the one type of book, not the one type of book, like one of the main types of books that is actually focused on the quality of the artwork, and then just say, it's okay if it all gets sun bleached. What the hell?
Now, see, I don't think I've ever asked for the item in the window because the mere thought of troubling someone with having to go out of their way to obtain the item for me from a location different than the normal one makes me want to shrivel up into a raisin and die.
Yeah.
Even being like,
Yeah, I get that.
can you check if this is in stock is a thing that makes me want to do a tactical roll out the nearest window.
Because if they put it in the window, the clear message is we don't want to sell this item.
I'm the kind of person who I go into the store and I feebly fumble around and look for the thing that I'm trying to find, and then I can't find it, and then I leave. and it's clearly there, and I could have been helped at any time, but it would have required inconveniencing another human being slightly.
Yeah, I love you, but that absolutely checks out. After a moment, I heard a voice of acknowledgement, and an apron-clad employee soon appeared.
Wait, I forgot the step where I instead buy an unrelated thing that we do not want or need.
Sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of me winning. Me winning.
Kei-chan, and why are you here?
Stay winning.
This has nothing to do with you. I'm on a date with Kei-chan right now.
Wow, she is super mean. See, I told you. There was never any... What the hell? What? Why is... Oh.
Huh? What? Why is Kei-chan...
Even if you ask I'd like to know the answer myself. Because they've been telling it to you from moment one, you thick-headed dumbass. Mion looked at me with an expression of confusion and surprise, but that was the same with me. If she was here, then who was next to me?
I said it right at the beginning. I'm Shion Sonozaki, my sister's younger twin. Kei-chan, you even called me Shion, didn't you?
Shion, saying that, pouted cutely.
What is going on? Tell me, Shion. Not much. I was wondering what kind of person this Kei-chan you were so infatuated with was.
Yep.
So I happened to give him a ticket to the dessert festa. There, when I was being bothered by all sorts of troublesome customers, Kei-chan gallantly appeared and saved me by kicking them all to the curb, or something like that.
What? Both Mion and I raised our voices pathetically, expressing our confusion in the utmost. Mion, you phoned me yesterday, right?
I didn't? I have no idea what you're talking about. I delivered that bento for you, didn't I, Kei-chan? That was me, right? Or was it my sister? The person known as Mion Sonozaki put together a bento and bravely went to a boy's home to deliver it, maybe.
So this has all been about, like, rubbing it in her sister's face, like, hey, look, I know how to date a person. Oh, you are the meanest, Shion.
Oh, you're a lot bolder than you look, sis.
I admit, I didn't expect them to just come out and say it. I legitimately did not expect them to just come. I thought this was going to result in what the confusion...
I know, right?
I am so...
So what's the subversion going to be now if it's not this?
Is that one of them will actually pretend to be the other now. Because of the gambit. The loud pop, a trail of smoke began to rise from Mion's head.
No, I don't know. See, Kei-chan, my sister says she doesn't know, so everything up until yesterday was me, Shion Sonozaki. You might have thought it was my sister pretending to be me, but with this, there's no doubt, right?
I couldn't tell up from down at that moment. There was a mirror around, I could have seen my eyes go wide from the shock. Also, is it just me, or... This might... No. Shion does have larger breasts than Mion does. Like... Notably so. Like, that's just a thing about the artwork that is true.
Now, little Miss Shopkeeper, could you wrap up that doll in the window? It's the first present from the person I've come to love. So, make sure you tie it up nicely with a ribbon.
Mion, completely flustered, was being cornered by a sly-faced Shion. My brain had stopped working. Wait, what? Huh?
Wait, what? Huh? Kei-chan?
What's going on?
Well, let's go. Kei-chan, it's already dark out, so I'll see you home. Sis, sorry, but could you phone the house in Okinomiya and have them send out a car? Maybe a van that we can fit a bike into, please.
In contrast to Shion, who had glee written all over her face, Mion was an empty shell and looked like she could burst into tears at any moment.
Ugh, Kei-chan.
After that, Mion's grumblings were unrelenting. Oh no. Mion is the one that's gonna die. You've brought her to her lowest point, Keiichi. She's gonna be... Oh... Okay, hear me out.
Yeah?
Mion was indeed the one. Oh, not easy being green is the... Figure out the twins. Yeah, there was no doubt about this.
Or was there? Now that it's shown them both, maybe we should doubt it more.
I'm done with you and your shenanigans. Let's look at that tip. I'm gonna as much as I'm thinking about like how this changes my idea about what happened at the dam site. I'm gonna save all of that until next time. Like I said, I'll be able to say something more cohesive and productive next time with a little while to think about it. Oh, that's what she looks like. Oh, that's a cute outfit.
Stop saying it's been a while. We've seen each other every day up until yesterday, haven't we?
Whatever. If you say so, we'll go with that.
Someone from Shion's house came to get me in a station wagon. I'd initially refused, but Shion insisted, so both my bicycle and I ended up stuffed in the car.
Hey, Kei-chan, you're coming over to visit today.
Oh no! Said car was currently driving across the single bumpy road leading to Hinamizawa. For goodness sake, Shion was at Mion's level at least, or maybe an even better actor. Either way, no matter what questions I pressed her with, she'd slip out of them like an eel. Still, you two look alike. If you tied your hair back like Mio does, would you look exactly like her?
Who knows? That's probably what would happen. We're identical twins through and through. In the past, we could just change our clothes and no one would be the wiser. I remember we'd swap places at every opportunity and fooled a whole lot of people. Ha ha ha.
The middle-aged driver wearing black suits heaved a heavy sigh like he were a butler.
What's wrong, Kasai? That was a pretty deep sigh. Who wants to?
Excuse me, ma'am. I was just. Is this a character I need to actually think about the voice for?
Who knows?
Excuse me. I was just thinking that you haven't changed, ma'am.
You could see many years of hardship on the man's face through the rearview mirror.
Anyway, Kei-chan, your house was around here, right? Kasai doesn't know much about Hinamizawa aside from the road that goes to the Sonozaki main house. If you leave it to him, he'll take you all the way to Yagochi.
I don't want that. Excuse me, could you stop at the narrow road at the next right? I'll walk from there. He stopped the car at the desired place. The driver, Kasai-san, got my bike out of the trunk for me. I'm sorry about that. Thank you very much for showing me home today.
Was it Kei-san? Your name, that is.
He's cool.
Oh, yes.
You must be having various difficulties, but I believe she will grow tired soon, so please endure things until then. That gives a very different picture of Shion as well, doesn't it?
Mano-a-mano talk from her personal butler or whoever this guy is, where he's like, okay, I know this is rough for you, kid, but don't worry, Shion's gonna get over this soon enough. You'll get through this.
He gave me a deep look of sympathy. This guy's definitely been dealing with the Sonozaki sisters ever since they were little kids.
However, like Mion-san, she's a kind person at heart.
That means she'll be as much of a bother as Mion, right? The man's face froze in a smile, his reply lost. Hey, back me up here!
Bye, Kei-chan. We'll see each other again soon. Say hi to my sister for me, too. Maybe I'll start going to Hinamizawa tomorrow.
Don't you dare. If you transferred in, I'll transfer out to a school in Okonomiya.
Wow, that was really mean, Kei-chan.
A short beep of the horn. The man gave a little wave to me from the driver's seat. Then the car withdrew into the dark night roads, leaving dust in its wake. This entire day made 0 sense to me. I ran into Mion while I was with Shion, and the former's expression like a pigeon shot with a pellet gun had finally begun to make strong impression on me. Oh. Oh no.
Oh, good times. Good times. Happy Hinamizawa fun times where nothing is going to go wrong.
Nothing is going to go wrong. Oh. Well, we got more time in this episode. Let's do another chapter.
Sure.
The next day, it was a strange day where Mion was desperate to regain her composure. Every time our eyes met, she would say that she had something to do or that she had to use the washroom and run off. Unable to just watch, Rena was taking care of her the entire time. Yeah, because she tried to warn you and you're a thick-headed asshole.
Mion-san, she's acting totally strange today.
I know the whole story, but it's hard to explain.
There are times when girls are emotionally unstable. It's best to just leave her alone.
Oh? Turning around, I saw Rena calling me from the hallway. I wondered what it was.
Keiichi-kun, over here.
What is it, calling me over like this? Is it a secret?
That is. It looks like it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Mi-chan seemed pretty broken, but I somehow got her working again.
Surprised you managed it. How'd you exactly?
Same way I do with the television. Just come at it from a 45-degree angle and... Kia!
Saying that, she made a chopping motion. You know, I can't tell if you're joking or not, right?
Percussive maintenance.
Uh-huh.
Percussive. She'll be fine by tomorrow. Also, there's something I want you to do, Keiichi-kun.
I didn't mean to do anything wrong, but I still feel guilty. I'm listening.
Thanks. You see, Mi-chan is just going to pretend the last few days never happened.
Never happened, huh? I see, that's one way to run from it.
So, you see, Keiichi-kun, could you pretend too? Then Mi-chan can go back to normal.
Just doing something as simple as that? Is it really going to be okay?
Please, until Mi-chan gets her feelings in order, just go with it.
Alright, I got it.
In fact, let's all pretend that this chunk of time never happened.
What? Okay.
This is a normal coping mechanism.
This is... strange, right? We all feel strange about this? Even though I shouldn't have been at fault, for some reason I felt guilty. The one at fault here was the one who knew about the entire situation and pretended to be Mion for an entire day. Shion! Oh, but she never once said that she was Mion, did she? It's like they weren't trying to fool you from the beginning.
No one, you've pulled the wool over your own eyes, my good sir. No one was trying to deceive you at any point in this process.
Oh, what am I supposed to be angry at? Seeing me stomping the ground impatiently, Rena giggled.
But Keiichi-kun, you knew as well that Mi-chan has some cute things about her.
Rena talked in a calm voice as her hair rustled in the wind. Yeah, I know she'll never let it be boring.
Good.
Following this curt reply, Rena looked up at the sky and stretched. You've been really, level about this whole thing, actually. Do you not have feelings for me like you did in Chapter 1? I'm so confused.
Mean?
What? What do you don't remember? Does no one else remember Chapter 1?
I saw the waitresses and they awakened something in me.
I see.
As long as you realize that, Keiichi-kun, these past few days will soon be nothing more than a story to laugh about.
Copying Rena, I also began to stretch as I looked at the sky. The clear sky towered into the distance.
There's no club activities or anything today. I'm sorry, Keiichi-kun, but just for today, can you go home by yourself? It'll all be back to normal by tomorrow, so just for today, okay?
All it took for everything to go back to normal was to leave Mion alone for today, then it was an easy decision to make. I've got it. Can't say it directly to Mion, so I'll say it to you. I still feel kinda guilty about it, so I want to apologize.
No, the root of the problem was Keiichi-kun saying something insensitive, right? So if you learned anything from this, you need to look a bit into gaining a sense of delicacy.
Lol, got him.
Right, I'll try. That day was the shortest day of my life. When I was talking to Mion while accompanying her around the entire time. It's like a really fun conversation, but so I reflexively thought about joining in, but I had made a promise not to. See, Mion was also trying her best to ignore me, so likewise I did my best to ignore her. Normal friend stuff! For the first time in a while, I ate lunch alone. Mion and Rena ate theirs by themselves. To let out a sigh in my ashen mood, Rika-chan came over and patted me on the head.
Both Keiichi and me learned a whole lot.
I would never say it like that. It made it sound like we were having romantic problems. I didn't like that one bit. Hopefully the teacher wouldn't notice and call us to the staff room after school or something.
I'm sure that Keiichi will grow up to be a wonderful adult. Pat, pat.
Oh, Rika-chan is the studious type, so maybe he'll grow up to be an amazingly wonderful adult?
Of course. When I grow up, I'll be super amazing.
My. When I grow up, I'll be an amazing lady, don't you know?
Oh, no matter how old you get, you'll still be a brat. You can put money on it.
What did you say?
Sadako snapped her fingers. A wash basin fell from above, hitting me squarely in the head. Oh! What do you think you're doing, Sadako? Bang, smash, pinch, squeeze. It was a day I could thoroughly appreciate the value of having friends.
Well, that was a nice chapter. That took like 2 seconds. What the hell? Yeah, we'll do one more.
Ow. Today was Saturday, so school ended in the blink of an eye. Felt really good to go home with the sun so high in the sky. On any other day, our club would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time, but today Rika-chan had a rehearsal for tomorrow's Watanagashi to go to. How's it going, Rika-chan? Do you have it down in practice?
I'll try harder than last year. You were so exhausted and sweaty after last year's ceremony.
She'll look far more fit for the role this year. Please look forward to the fruits of her training.
I've been getting swole.
She has been. I've been measuring.
The Watanabe...
I might not look it, but I could bench press you.
She can. It's frightening. Someone should call the cops because she's got a walking gun show. Actually, don't do that.
Oh, the Watanagashi festival everyone had been talking about was tomorrow, was it not? Festival being in June felt a little early to me, but the onset of summer came quickly this year, so it fit the image of a summer festival pretty well.
Okay, we'll be off then.
Look forward to tomorrow. Good day to you all.
Sadako and Rika-chan waved to us energetically and then left.
So tomorrow's Watanagashi.
Tomorrow!
I see.
The Watanagashi. I wonder who's gonna die. You know what, I've never asked. Where's the festival happening anyway? I don't remember there being anywhere around here that seems suited for hosting one.
They do it at the Furude Shrine. We went there for a walk one day, remember? It was that place with a really good view.
Oh, right, I remember. There's a shrine all the way up on that hill, wasn't there? Seemed far too grand for Hinamizawa.
There's a great meeting hall in the shrine, too. The older people get together there and sing karaoke or practice calligraphy from time to time.
Huh.
It's more like a recreational facility than a simple shrine.
I see. Guess it makes sense that it looks so grand, then.
Mi-chan, is your family going to help set up today? Yep, we have male hands for that. Most of our relatives come from town to help.
Male hands, huh? Well, I mean, I have nothing to do at home today, so... It'd be a problem if I scored my way in there to help out, too?
Huh? You want to help us, Kei-chan?
Not if it'll bother you all. I was just kind of interested, that's all. We had bond dances and other festivals in the town I used to live in, but I didn't even know where they took place, much less wanted to help. I could say that I had absolutely no connection to the region. Having come to Hinamizawa, though, it really made me feel like this place was a home I had returned to. Before I knew it, I had harbored a little interest in the small community activity of preparing for a festival the day before.
I wonder if you'll be able to, Keiichi-kun. There's a lot of building tents and setting up chairs. I hear it's pretty hard physical labor.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it alone, right? The more hands we have, the faster it'll go. Mion looked happy to hear that, but at the same time, her expression was complex, tinged with hesitation. Rena gave her the last push for me.
It's decided then. You should go for it, Keiichi-kun. He's all yours, Mii-chan. Put him through the ringer. Well, I can't argue with the recommendation from Rena.
You can and most likely should most of the time.
Okay then, go home first, put on some work clothes, and come to the shrine. Oh, and you might want to bring a towel to wipe your sweat, too.
Got it. I may look scrawny, but I actually quite like breaking a sweat under the hot sun.
Careful you don't hurt your back, okay? Right, enough of my old man spiel. I'll go to the shrine too, as soon as I've changed.
Mii-chan, you do your best too. Ciao. Bye-bye. Mion waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could... Oh, that was Rena saying that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mii-chan, you do your best too. Bye-bye.
Mion waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could tell from her gallant retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak state she had yesterday.
Girls are quick to get over things. Mii-chan is already fine.
Right, if you say so. Her switching back to normal so cleanly really makes it easy for me to talk to her.
It was kind of funny though, wasn't it? Kind of like Cinderella. Like you can't meet her anymore once the magic wears off.
Rena began to giggle a fair bit in amusement. Did she like this sort of thing? Incidentally, me going along with it gave me a weird, hard to describe feeling. Did I turn myself into a plaything or did they do it for me? I think it's so funny, then you should try pretending to be a different Rena too.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Keiichi-kun, what kind of Rena would you want to meet?
One with a bust size of at least 90, huge knockers that you're okay with me touching.
I can't do that.
She'd be great at cooking, make me lunch, come to see me in the mornings.
I do that already.
I like how she's like, I already do that, Keiichi. Keiichi, I already do that. Keiichi.
I pull Rena's head into a tight grip and start to pet it. You're Rena Ryugu, right? Rena, not Reina. So you just stay as Rena forever, you got it?
Thanks. Have fun helping set up the festival.
You got it. Let's meet up tomorrow. Got changed right away and slinging a towel around my neck like Mion suggested, set off for the shrine. Hey, we're back at the shrine. The shrine, there were more people than you'd imagined, even live in Hinamizawa there, or even live in Hinamizawa there. All cordoning off areas and setting up tent frameworks, chatting amongst themselves as they did so. Alright, where's Mion? The liveliness of the throng didn't make it easy to look for her. Searched around as if I already worked there, and suddenly the principal called out to me.
If it isn't Maebara-kun, interesting. Have you come to help with the Watanagashi setup?
Hello, yes, I was just wondering if there was anything I could help with.
How commendable your attitude is. Feel free to sweat to your heart's content. Ha ha ha.
Spurred on by the principal, I came upon a group of people setting up tents.
Who's... That's just some guy.
Just some guy.
What's this? It's Maebara-chan. Did you come all this way to help us?
I hadn't found Mion yet, but I suppose I'd just get in her way if I ran into her. Yeah, I'm here to help. Just tell me where you need me.
You young ones have all the vitality. Here, grab some work gloves. Ever built a tent before?
No, never, but I'm happy to learn. Delighting in teaching a new skill to someone younger, plenty of people happily taught me all sorts of things.
Okay, kid. Go inside the tent and tie up just the cords for the top. After that, we'll stand it up and tie the rest of them.
Butterfly knots are okay, right? There, and there.
All done? We're standing it up. 1, 2, 3.
What was once nothing more than a collapsed tent was raised on 4 splendid legs before my eyes in mere moments. Whoa! Seeing it put together like this is actually pretty moving.
Come on, no time to stare and wonder. We've got a lot more to do.
This is going to be another...
We packed the tents into the truck, so go get them from there. They're heavy, so take someone with you.
I'm good. I may look scrawny, but I'm actually pretty strong. Oh! They look light enough, so I thought they were, but they're heavy.
That's why I told you to have someone help. Come on,
Said the man, lifting it up with a grunt and taking it away under his arm. Either I'm weak or these old guys all have superhuman strength.
Let's go. You're the youngest one here, so we're going to make you sweat for it. Do your best. Beer after work is the best.
I'm a minor, though.
I said what I said.
All right. Sweat dripped from my body. I'd been fully and completely absorbed in helping them. Who never thought the cold barley tea from the Women's Society would taste this delicious?
You're so young. Make sure you drink a lot.
Thank you. It was then that I realized a crowd had formed near the shrine a ways off. When I took a closer look, I saw a girl dressed in shrine maiden garb, and a handful of old men looking like they were preparing for the ceremony together. Was that Rika-chan? Hey, Rika-chan! Do your best! I shouted, and it seemed like she heard me. Rika-chan, positively exploding with vitality, answered with a smile. The older guys watched Rika-chan as well, with distant gazes.
Rika-chama is doing a great job.
She seems far more used to this than she did last year.
The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like prayer beads in her hands and said,
Rika-sama, we thank you, we thank you.
and just like that began to respectfully pray to her. Huh? Just remember that they called it the Furude Shrine. Wasn't Rika-chan's full name Rika Furude? The man standing there next to me answered my question.
That's right, Rika-chama's Furude clan is ancient and honorable and has worshipped Oyashiro-sama for generations.
Huh. I always gotten the feeling she wasn't quite your average person, but turned out she was from an esteemed family.
After her father, who was the shrine priest, died the year before last, she's been really doing her best to learn the rituals.
Okay. So her dad is dead, but that doesn't mean that her mom has gone missing. Interesting. So, again, it seems like the going missing part seems to be an optional part of the curse.
I wish the priest could have been here to see how wonderfully she's grown up.
What? Rika-chan's father passed away?
Okay, break time is over. Hey, look, it's a change of topic. Let's get the chairs we're not using back to the gym in Okonomiya.
Year before last. Hold on, I want to see if that lines up with the timeline we have from last chapter. Year before last, so that would have been 81. That was the same year the Furudes died. Or that Mr. Furude died.
Sure seems like it.
And Rika's mom went missing. So that does line up still. Interesting.
We start to get our first detail.
Ooh. That doesn't mean that they all couldn't have happened differently, but still a good little detail.
Maki-san, pull the truck around here and take a few people with you. All right.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
All right, Maebara-kun, let's get to work on one last job.
Oh, you're gonna make me do more work? Can't tell if they know I'm a minor or not, but the older men all cheer me on, encourage me to do my best, that the beer will be great.
Like, if you're like a teenage boy helping out with a bunch of people doing setup work like this, and they want to give you one beer, yeah, if you're among responsible adults, sure, that doesn't seem wrong. Like, you're not gonna like it. Despite what people might tell you, beer is an acquired palate. It kind of sucks. But like, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that in principle.
Kei-chan, working hard, I see.
I passed by Mion. She was carrying a big cardboard box. Looked like she was right in the middle of working as well. Judging by the sweat seeping into her shirt, seemed I wasn't the only one with hands full. I'm working my ass off. You work hard too, all right? The beer's gonna be great.
Ha 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 ha.
We were
It will.
All right, for this old man, right?
Yeah.
We were worked to the bone until the sun began to set and it started cooling off. It was soon a full-fledged night, and the clear sound of the Higurashi eased the moderate pain I felt. The older guys began their night before drinking party in a tent a fair bit off, causing quite a ruckus. The shrine grounds, on the other hand, had turned into a lonely road, tickled by the cool evening breeze, despite being so festive just a little while ago. The wind felt good. I leaned on one of the stone guardian dogs at the front of the shrine. I gave my legs a good stretch as I let my mind wander, and suddenly a paper cup filled with barley tea was thrust before me.
Kei-chan, great work. Here's some tea. Oh, it's somebody else.
Yeah.
Kei-chan, great work. Here's some tea for you.
Oh, you're so considerate. Thanks, me. Her voice sounded exactly the same, but it felt somehow different.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you're...
Okay. Hey, it's Shion. Don't go giving Mion all the credit. She isn't considerate at all. Don't get us confused, okay?
Oh, God. Shion, jump scare. Shion, you little... Oh, they caught you. You're not getting away.
It was your mistake, Kei-chan. I've never said I was anyone other than Shion.
Ugh, I guess I can't argue with that.
That's right. You're no match for my older sister, so I can't let you be a match for me either. Anyway, your tea. It's gonna get warm.
You're no match for my older sister?
Yeah, Mion always wins, so I can't lose to you.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Come on, please cheer up. I'm trying to make it up to you with this tea.
Well, she did come all the way here to give it to me. Guess I'll accept it. Took the cup and downed it in one gulp. And suddenly, I heard a loud shout and got stuck in my throat. Which one is it this time? Is it the real Mion?
Shion, why are you hanging out with Kei-chan again? Because unlike you, I'm very considerate.
What? Mion was putting in like a good day's hard labor getting the festival set up. That's rad. Like,
Kei-chan was so sweaty I couldn't leave him alone, so I brought him some tea. By the way, why are you holding 2 cups of tea?
Mion's face went bright red and she tried to hide the paper cups behind her back.
Well, this is, There's no way you, such a rough, timid, good sister of mine, would ever briskly bring a male classmate tea, is there? So what are they? What are those 2 cups of tea? These are, well,
Keiichi, reach over, grab it, say thank you. And then just...
Right. I was just so thirsty I figured I'd drink 2. That's so like you. Come on, chug, chug.
As Shion cheered at her, Mion downed both the cups of tea one after the other.
Keiichi, you have so many opportunities to step... You've learned nothing.
What a fabulous drink that was. I expected nothing less from you. Kei-chan, you give her a hand too.
Wait, suddenly the situation's gotten unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easily like that. I've known for a while now, but Shion is terrifying. Mion, you can't hold your own against her, can you?
I hate her, and lately I hate her even more.
Just then I heard the snap of a camera shutter.
Are you alive? Holy shit, he's alive! Sir, I guess also appearing in this?
Yeah. Good evening. The festival's coming up tomorrow. Thanks for all your hard work setting it up today. Good evening. Oh, Shion-chan. It's quite unusual for you to come here.
So she knows Shion. Interesting.
Oh, hey. It's Tomitake and Takano-san. Good evening. It's been a while, hasn't it? So, you're that transfer student I've been hearing about. Keiichi Maebara-kun, right? You really did a bang-up job today. I'm impressed.
I feel like I've seen this photographer guy before. Have we met before?
I'm glad you remembered. We've passed many times on the road, Keiichi-kun. I'm Tomitake. I'm a freelancing photographer from Tokyo. Then do you recognize me?
I'm sorry, but I don't.
She's Mio Takano-san. Do you remember when you were at the doctor's office when you still had a cold, Kei-chan? Mio-san is one of the nurses who works there. Call me Takano. I'm pleased to meet you. Tell me when you're coming in for treatment. I'll prepare a huge needle for you.
That's very thoughtful and frightening of you. Tomitake-san seemed to be quite entertained at the Sonozaki twins being in the same place, and he took picture after picture.
I've heard about them, but this is the first time I've actually seen a pair of identical twins. You really do look exactly alike. We're not just alike on the outside. See, our underwear matches too. Ah, you idiot. What the heck are you doing?
Things have never been as lively as when the two of them are together. Thought they were exactly the same at first, but I've started to get a handle on which one is which. Mion is Mion, and Shion, well, she seems a far better actor than Mion was. In the first place, somebody that could spurn Mion so easily wouldn't have shown such weakness to those loud bucket-set Angel Mort. If that was the case, then the cowardly behavior from that day was all... It was all a complete act?
They were even more alike when they were little. I heard even their parents had a hard time telling which was which.
That's really easy to imagine, actually. I totally understand what they must have gone through.
What?
What?
Takano gave me a kind of an odd look, but explaining would have been a pain, so I didn't bother.
Oh, he's talking about his trouble telling which one's which. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought Keiichi was just low-key dropping some lore on us. And I was like, hold up. No, okay, I misunderstood.
Tomitake, are you going straight back to Tokyo after you get your pictures of the festival? Yep, though I would rather just stay here forever. Silly adult things, that's all. You know, in Tokyo, where I definitely live.
Yeah, in Tokyo, where you
And
definitely live.
not a tiny hotel room just outside of town.
Yeah. Yeah, but none of us know that, so let's just roll with it.
I hope your photos win a fabulous prize soon. I've been praying for it. Thanks. Next time I come, I'll bring the pictures I took of you all today. I can't show you right now because we still use film.
Yeah.
Thought
No,
I
that
needed
makes
to
sense.
fill that
You
in.
have to get it developed.
Yeah, thought I needed to fill that in for modern viewers. Maebara-kun, you did a lot of work today. You must be tired from all the physical labor you're not used to.
Oh, well, I'm tired, but it was still pretty fun.
Ah, youth. I'm so jealous.
Takano-san smiled with an adult elegance that no one in my circle of friends possessed. The wind caught her hair. She gives off an intelligent beauty. Oh, why, hello there, everyone. It seemed like a merry crowd was standing out. This time an overweight older man addressed us. And again, it was someone I thought I knew. If I recall correctly, he's a policeman, isn't he?
Oh, Oishi-san. Good evening. Doing a preliminary security inspection for tomorrow.
Nah, well, something like that now. Oh, if it ain't Tomitake-kun. It's certainly been a while now, ain't it?
I'm honored you remembered my name.
You really love Hinamizawa, don't you? I can't do both the way. I can't do it again anymore. It just happens. You really love Hinamizawa, don't you? Apartments around here are far cheaper than the ones in Tokyo, aren't they? Just move here and get it over with. I know a realtor I can introduce you to. Get you into some legally binding paperwork and all.
I appreciate the thought. I'd very much like to follow up on that.
I doubt that. All right, everyone. Have a good year. And Happy New Year to the Sonozaki twins, too.
Happy New Year, Detective Oishi.
Yeah, it was her in Chapter 1. Yep. The same way she's treating Oishi, just that same look of disgust. I've got some ideas.
We appreciate your work. We'd like to end this year's festival with the least amount of inconvenience possible.
Well, that's pretty strict on me. Detective Oishi left us with a low laugh and headed off to talk to some police officers standing a ways away. I gave Mion a glance and saw her making an annoyed face as if she were glaring bullets at someone she hated. Oh, never mind. Mion actually hates her too. All right, well.
Yeah, it'd be nice if the police didn't have anything to do during Watanagashi this year. You like this place too, don't you? Oh, you mean to say you dislike it, Jiro-san? I quite enjoy such fantastic stories, you know. Especially with the times being so dry and uninteresting. The Curse of Oyashiro-sama, you mean?
Oh, here we go. Curse, Tomitake-san said used a troubling word. Then suddenly someone tugged on my arm.
Kei-chan, I'm pretty hungry. Want to go to the tent with the drinks and have some candy and sweets?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm up for that. I'm getting a little hungry as well.
Okay, let's go.
A moment later, Shion said something to Takano and Tomitake that stung my ears and gave me a start.
I wonder who will die and who will disappear this year.
Okay, so it is. Pulled back from Mion's grip and stopped abruptly. Shion, what did she just say? Felt like the air around us dried out all of a sudden.
Let's go, Kei-chan. They're talking about something silly anyway. You still haven't told Kei-chan. I make it a point not to spread stories like that.
Shion's cold and quiet tone and Mion's harsh voice were quite the contrast. Wait, hold on. What are y'all talking about? If you know something, then tell me. Doesn't feel right being the only one left out, you know. I don't understand this. Someone explain it to me. However, Mion didn't seem to be at all willing to grant my request. She squeezed my hand in hers a bit, but when she realized I would hold my ground on this topic, she let go.
I'm gonna go to the drinking tent first, then. If you don't come soon, Kei-chan, there won't be any left for you.
I get it already. I'll be there soon. Mion left, trotting towards a particularly noisy tent on the other side of the shrine grounds. Before she got there, she stopped and turned back around. I showed no signs of going after her, though, so she ran off.
Now, I could tell you if you haven't heard, I suppose, but it might be smarter not to ask and go with her to eat dessert. You should do that, kid.
Hey, yeah. Hey, now, you've already got my full attention here. I'm not going to leave without asking at this point.
I think Keiichi has the right to hear this too. My sister was just stealing that from you.
Shion's voice was bristling with thorns, as if somehow blaming Mion. What on earth are you talking about? I don't really like people acting so self-important. Takano-san, realizing how prepared I was, looked across the group. After confirming that there were no objections, she opened her mouth.
Do you believe in curses, Maebara-kun?
Curses? I think they're interesting, but I don't really, I felt their cynical stares and winced. Like they were telling me it was strange or not to believe in curses.
You're not wrong, Keiichi. Curses are just superstition. It's only natural that you wouldn't believe in them. Besides, you can take all the time you need to decide whether to believe in curses after you've heard us through,
said Takano-san, giving a little smile. They're trying to scare me. This is what it feels like.
Alright, I'll start. Keiichi-kun, do you know about the Hinamizawa Dam project?
Oh yeah, the other day at Angel Mort, Shion, or Mion rather, told me all about it. You mean the plan for the giant dam that would flood all of Hinamizawa, right?
That's right. Residents of the town banded together to fight it, and a fierce battle with the government unfolded.
I've heard that too. The entire village united using all the power at their disposal, mass media, political influence, all those other things, and fought the country. The way Mion described it sounded like a boast.
Oh, you know quite a bit about it. Yes, you're right. It's practically an epic tale how just 1,000 or so villagers banded together and rejected the government's plans.
Interesting.
Did you hear this from my sister? She likes those kind of epics, you know.
Yeah, I did. She told me.
There was, however, an office for the Hinamizawa residents' opposition faction. It was this shrine. You know the assembly hall? That's where it used to be. Now that the whole thing is over, the senior citizens just use it for group activities. At the time, though, it was their last bastion.
Takano explained this, pointing a finger toward the assembly hall. Been carrying things in and out of there all day. I mean, I wouldn't understand if they put an office like that in the mayor's house or something, but having an office on the shrine grounds made it feel kind of like a base camp for Sengoku period warriors.
That was basically the mindset, though. Placing the main force in the shrine dedicated to Oyashiro-sama, Hinamizawa's guardian deity, was like a prayer for victory.
Oyashiro-sama, huh? That was definitely it. I mentioned Oyashiro-sama's curse before. Is it the same Oyashiro-sama?
Do you know Oyashiro-sama?
Yes, Hinamizawa.
I kill you, you kill me?
No, Hinamizawa.
I made SK watch the video.
It was very amusing. And also way too long?
Yeah.
What on earth?
Who's talking?
I don't know, I guessed Tomatake.
Do you know about Oyashiro-sama, Keiichi-kun? It's the name of the god worshipped at this shrine. It's said that he protects all of Hinamizawa.
Well, I don't really know much about him, no.
I see. I think Takano-san knows more about the rest. Tag, you're it. Well, that is generally the whole story. Oyashiro-sama is the ancient god passed down in Hinamizawa, and the villagers say he has been protecting this sanctuary from the poisons of the outside world.
So essentially he's a basic standard guardian deity. Alright, guess you can find that sort of god anywhere you go.
There's research into whether worshipping Oyashiro-sama is a manifestation of a kind of elitism, too. What I mean is the worshippers might think of themselves as chosen people.
Believing yourself chosen, a nationalistic belief that you are part of a superior race or that you're a special clan chosen by the gods. They believe that they're superior clans, so they believe strongly in cooperating with others, but they also end up being exclusionary towards other clans. I won't go into too much detail, but it's the sort of national and religious ideas that lead to war. Of course, that goes for Japan as well.
A long time ago, the people of Hinamizawa strongly believed themselves different from humans, that they were above them. They believed that interaction with the lower world would sully their souls.
This is different than the version we heard. Okay.
So everyone believed that if one from the lower world came to the village, they would be sullied and suffer the wrath of Oyashiro-sama. Apparently that kept everyone away. Villages that hate outsiders come up all the time in mystery novels. This was once a classic example of a xenophobic village. Well, they'll deny it to preserve their pride. It was all a long time ago, after all. Things are different now.
Shion followed up quickly, having sensed the thorns in Tomatake-san's words. Tomatake-san, embarrassed at what he said, scratched at his head. So this shrine worships Oyashiro-sama. thinks of Hinamizawa as holy ground, and it's a symbol of their traditional hatred of the outside world. I get it. That's why they chose the shrine of Hinamizawa's guardian spirit as their base of operations, to resist the sullied dam construction project that came from the outside.
Correct.
Smiled Takano, pleased. She must dislike stupid people.
Superstition, every last bit of it. The villagers gave everything, desperate to oppose the dam construction. And right in the midst of it, the incident drove home the finishing blow.
The incident?
The incident.
Oyashiro-sama's curse.
The person managing the construction site of the Hinamizawa Dam was murdered 4 years ago, I believe.
4 years ago. Yeah, that checks. That checks out. All right.
It took the newspapers by storm. Do you remember it?
No, not really.
He had a fight with a subordinate and was beaten to death with a pickaxe. His limbs and head were torn off, and the remains disposed of. One of those dismemberment homicides. They were all the rage at one point.
Such a gruesome incident. It was just that, an incident, right? A person caused the incident, after all. Did they really put it down to the curse?
Then the following year, the man who had organized Hinamizawa's group of dam proponents, he fell from a cliff while on vacation and died.
So that's the same as well. Okay. Never mind my thought. Okay.
Apparently, it was an accident. Of course, most of Hinamizawa was hostile towards him. The police were all over the case as if it were a homicide, but in the end it was judged to have been an accident.
Now it's an accident, huh? It's the most curse-like one, but it's still far-fetched.
And then on the next year, this time the priest of this shrine contracted an unknown illness and suddenly died. This may sound a little rude, but the old priest was kind of a wait-and-see type. The whole village was in an uproar about the dam, but he just kind of didn't seem to want to bother. The shrine was the symbol of the opposition movement, and its priest, well, his attitude worked against him. The villagers at the time had hoped for a leader, but their hopes were betrayed. Some people were apparently pretty angry, too.
This is still Shion.
So at the time, all the older people were like, "This is Oyashiro-sama's curse." That's what they said.
It did seem like every year, dam-related people the village had resentment towards were dying. It's pretty creepy.
Oh, and also, it's interesting. All of these incidents and accidents always happen on the night of the Watanagashi festival.
What?
See? Starting to sound like a curse now, isn't it?
The year after that. In other words, last year. Oh.
Then the year after that, in other words last year, the sister-in-law of the man who was the leader of the dam proponents, the one who accidentally died, was discovered dead, having been beaten to death.
All right. The passage is exactly the same.
Of course, they caught that criminal. See, really seems like a curse, huh?
4 years in a row. Each one of the incidents and accidents were relatively commonplace, but every single one of them happening on the night of the festival, worshipping Oyashiro-sama. That's not normal.
The old folks have been blindly accepting Oyashiro-sama's curse because of the incidents these past few years. Even younger people, too. At first they thought it was stupid, but now nobody makes fun of it.
Yeah, I could see where she's coming from. Even me, if I didn't think there was a curse at all, thinking about all the incidents like this makes me feel like maybe it's real.
For example, just look at the preparations for the festival you were doing today. Everything might have gone crazy during the battle against the dam, but just a few years ago, the Watanagashi festival was never this well attended. Well, I guess you're right. If we didn't have Oyashiro-sama to talk about, we wouldn't all be coming to a festival like this, huh? There's a lot of people who say that infidels might be punished, so they really need to go to Oyashiro-sama's festival.
Shio nodded as if she were mocking herself. What about now? Oh.
So, how about now? Keiichi-kun, you're starting to get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, the curse is real, aren't you?
I mean, you can't just laugh off people related to the damn construction project all dying like that. Even if I feel like this now, the more superstitious members of the village might feel stronger than that. I still don't think there's a curse. I can understand that those believe there is, though.
Wow, Kei-chan, you can really keep a cool head about this.
Shion grinned, realizing I'd rejected the curse.
If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then what should we make of these incidents?
Takano-san said, smiling playfully as if posing a riddle. Neither a curse nor a coincidence, but every year someone dies. What should we make of that, then? Tomatake-san, catching on to the fact that I had no idea what to make of it, opened his mouth and came to my aid.
Takano-san is suggesting that it might be the work of real people.
What? Simple process of elimination would have gotten me there. A little taken aback at not having realized the answer immediately.
Well, think about it. If it's neither a curse nor coincidence, then people must be willingly carrying it out. It's the only explanation, right?
Takano-san pressed on. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was just a few minutes ago thinking the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking there wasn't any way it could be a person, but Takano-san was right. It was either a curse or it was a person's doing. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, then the obvious next step would be to start thinking it was people behind it. But if that was the case, I glanced at Shion.
If the culprit is a person, then they'd have to be someone from Hinamizawa. That's what the police officer, Oishi-san, thinks right now, too.
Hey, wait, that can't be! I thought I now knew the reason Mio didn't want to talk about this. If Oishiro-sama's curse really existed, then that's fine. It would be divine judgment for the dam project business. However, if Oishiro-sama's curse didn't exist, which it obviously didn't, then the culprit would most likely be someone from Hinamizawa. The villagers had worked desperately to oppose the dam construction project. They had all used all sorts of methods to fight against it. One of those methods was, maybe...
People whisper that Oyashiro-sama's curse could be the doing of a secret group in the dam resistance movement.
Shion dryly putting words to my exact thoughts.
Is this RO7 calling out the most common theories for Chapter 1 and being like, ha ha? Am I getting got right now?
Of course I didn't expect it. She was from Hinamizawa, so I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself.
If you calm down and think about it, anyone would come to that same conclusion. There wouldn't be a motive for anyone, but people who benefit from opposing the dam project, right?
Well, I disagreed with that. Right? I like the idea that there could have been a different inciting incident that was unrelated to the dam project, but the dam project becomes a better reason to keep a better, more generally acceptable reason behind it.
I guess that's true. Bending to the existence of a darker side of the dam conflict would be rude to Mion, who spoke of it so highly, so I couldn't just accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint.
One more thing, the police probably don't know this. There's proof that someone from Hinamizawa committed these crimes, and the people of Hinamizawa know it.
What? What proof? Shion's rebukes to keep my voice down. Sorry, this is proof. What is it?
It's the fact that one person dies and one more person disappears.
One more person disappears. That means someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice? What do you mean by disappear? They just vanish and you never see them again?
That's right. Suddenly and without a trace.
As she spoke, Shion pretended to do a trick with her hands like she were making a magician's hat disappear. One dies a mysterious death, and one disappears, never to be seen again. A strange vanishing act. But then why? How does that equate to someone from Hinamizawa being the culprit?
Well, actually, Hinamizawa has this one really old legend. It's about how people offer sacrifices to Oyashiro-sama to calm his wrath.
Sacrifices?
Yes. They say they used to wrap a living person up in a bamboo mat and let them slowly sink down into a bottomless swamp.
Interesting. Takano-san, though, explaining something pretty terrible, has a look of glee on her face as she did so.
As far as I can glean from the literature, it actually took 3 days and 3 nights for them to sink. See, even people a long time ago liked symbolism. As the body sunk, Oyashiro-sama's anger would be quelled. Both were submerged into the deep.
Takano-san was the only one laughing at this. Was she telling a joke or something? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cool expression and Takano-san's.
This whole conversation, well, I think you can imagine after hearing it, but it's the secret history of Hinamizawa. Everyone who has been in Hinamizawa for a long time knows it, but they don't talk about it.
And it's really convenient for us that you think that as well.
Takano-san's not from here, but she knows quite a lot. She really likes local history, folk legends, stuff like that. She learned about it all by herself, too. I'm really not all that amazing, just curious, that's all, like a child. I just want to see scary things for the fun of it.
I like your vibe.
I love her.
I love your vibe, Mio.
I'm here to tell ghost stories and spread irresponsible rumors to children.
Yes, you are. Tomotaki-san laughed a little embarrassed. Wait a minute, what does that mean? The other person who disappears during the incident, you're saying they're offered as a sacrifice?
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
Shion answers in one word before anyone else can speak. Someone dies and someone disappears.
Well, whether they actually get sacrificed or not is a different issue, but every time something happened in the past, one person died and one other person disappeared. For example, the first one where the dam site manager was killed. Apparently one of the people responsible for that still hasn't been arrested.
Alright, so this is all the same.
Couldn't that mean he just managed to get away? You don't see why you should treat him as a sacrifice.
Well, that's basically what I think, too. There was also the year after that with the leader of the dam proponents.
You said he fell from a cliff and died while on vacation, right?
Apparently, his wife fell as well. The police investigated fervently, but they were never able to find the wife's corpse. The river under the cliff was actually pretty high at the time, though. She could have just been buried under the sand at the bottom of some lake downstream or something.
The perpetrator of dismemberment like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide, too. But I'd heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after the person drowned in a swelled river like that. She vanished because of her own fortunate accident, but I still didn't see the connection to sacrifices. Took each of the past incidents in turn, none of the disappearance evoked that terrifying of an image.
The year after that, with the priest suddenly falling ill and dying, is much clearer. His wife left a suicide note. They found it in their house the night the priest died. It said something along the lines of her quelling Oyashiro-sama's wrath through her death.
The curse, it seems to turn up in this one, though.
Well, we may never know the truth of the matter. The swamp the wife drowned herself in was the giant bottomless one Takano mentioned before. The police investigated it, but all they could find were several of her possessions. They never found the corpse. The police suspect it was a faked suicide, and they're still investigating it now.
Someone dies every year, in the same way someone goes missing every year. Is she trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means? Dumped into the bottom of a swamp, still alive and drowned to death? What a curse. That's unbelievable in its own right. The next year, what was it? The dam proponent's sister-in-law? Oh.
And the next year, what was it? The dam proponent's sister-in-law? She was killed.
At that time, someone else vanished?
Oh, it was Keiichi.
Yep.
Someone did disappear. It was a boy around my age named Satoshi Hojo. He's the nephew by marriage of the woman killed.
They're even very specific about it. I like this. I like this. We talked about this during the quick break about how a lot of the very specific details in here seem to be specifically brought up to counter what might have been the most common theories at the time, which I can't help but feel like a lot of these details are being brought up very specifically to make sure to, like, a lot of these things are ambiguities and oversights that I latched onto. So a lot of these things, while may not rocking the entirety of my thing to the core, do make it so I have to go back and reconsider things.
But Satoshi transferred out. How could he transfer out if he disappeared?
Yeah, right? How? How could he transferred out? Still Rena. She can have foster parents. This can still work. This can still work.
Shion cut in with a slightly strong tone of voice. She knew the boy who had disappeared pretty well. At least that's the vibe I was getting.
Well, that about sums everything up. One person always dies, and one person always suddenly disappears.
She knew the boy who disappeared really well. Mion took Satoshi away from her, so now she's taking Keiichi away from Mion.
Spicy.
Spicy, I know. There we go. There we go. Got him.
Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact that each incident involved one person disappearing. So that means the first person who dies is because of Oyashiro-sama's curse. The second person who vanishes is because the villagers sacrificed them? Is that it?
Kei-chan, there is no curse. Somebody kills the first person under the guise of the curse, and someone takes away the second person to be a sacrifice.
But Shion, that means the criminal is in the village.
Not necessarily. But I also like how they're turning to the camera and saying, yeah, people are doing this. But Think about why they're doing it. Think about why this has to happen.
And that's what I've been guessing from the start. It's pretty shocking, though, you know?
Yeah, it'd be pretty shocking for you because your family's behind it.
We live in the Showa period. It's kind of hard to believe people are committing murder like it's nothing, using some ancient justifications, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Didn't have to do anything to do with our discussion, but got the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Hinamizawa very much. Mion enjoyed talking about Hinamizawa and its epic tales, so she had avoided talking about Oyashiro-sama's curse, which didn't paint Hinamizawa in a good light no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she'd said nothing. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinamizawa of this bad impression, but rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was criminal behind this. The conviction seemed to be a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of Hinamizawa. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other, but talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mion. Than everyone else, they all think someone from Hinamizawa did it, right? Neither Shion nor Takano-san answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said. Let me ask another question. If someone from Hinamizawa is the culprit, then who is it? Neither Shion nor Takano-san had a reply to that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I was asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit was from Hinamizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan. She gave me a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak.
All I said really just amounts to circumstantial evidence anyway. If any of us knew who it really was, we'd have gotten them into police hands already.
As would anyone. And what about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion had opened her own mouth.
Well, I'd like to clear one thing up. I'm not a detective or anything, all right? In all honesty, I'm not really interested in who the culprit is. Takano-san, you sure are a handful.
Toмотake-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter.
You see, I just like cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales.
Oh, you are my favorite.
I only enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective. So, even for this string of incidents, it's not so much finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking about how the old traditions displayed by the incidents themselves still seemed to have some pretty deep roots around here.
Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was as sharp as the tip of a blade. Women like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend.
Well, I don't think any of this is interesting at all. The Watanagashi festival is coming up tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear.
Tomorrow, huh? That's right. That completely slipped my mind. The string of murder incidents people attributed to Oishiro-sama's curse. It wasn't over. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die? And would someone disappear?
I do wonder who will die tomorrow and who will disappear, though.
Oh gosh, you are laying it on so thick, woman. Takano said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incidents that could happen tomorrow. Then out of the blue, we heard a round of applause. They seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right, I was making Mion wait this whole time, wasn't I? I should go back to her soon.
You're teasing the kid too much, Takano-san. Now Keiichi-kun thinks it's all true. I apologize. It's that bad habit of mine again,
said Takano-san, sticking out her tongue bashfully. The strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found.
When Takano-san sees an innocent child like you, she can't help wanting to poke fun at them. It's a real bad habit. Keiichi-kun, you listened to everything so earnestly that she ended up getting carried away.
Unlike Takano-san, Toмотake-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me.
The stuff Takano-san just said is all fiction. If it made you harbor any bad impressions about Hinamizawa, then we apologize for that. Geez, Jiro-san. You apologize too, Takano-san. Tell him you're sorry for scaring him.
Takano-san and Toмотake-san were arguing and messing around now.
See, okay, they seem a lot more relationshipy.
Mhm.
And maybe that's just a difference in writing. But, like, they really do, like, this vibe they're getting here seems a lot more like, oh, this is like a kind of friendly intimacy, rather than just we annoy each other and also hang out. I could believe these two people were in a relationship. I would have had a harder believing the versions of them in Chapter 1 were.
Just a couple of 30-somethings who hang around this rural village festival and scare children.
Life goals right there.
And take pictures of birds sometimes.
Yep.
Kei-chan, you should get going soon too. Mion is the jealous type. If she sees me, she'll probably start a fight, so I'll just be going home.
Oh, really? Then I'll go see what Mion's doing and apologize for making her wait, I suppose.
Sorry for being such a nuisance, Keiichi-kun. Could you tell Mion-chan we're sorry for borrowing you for so long?
Oh yeah, I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but sure. Tomatake-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle.
Okay then, Kei-chan. Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival.
We'll see each other. I mean, it's us we're talking about after all. We'll be making so much trouble it'll be hard for you not to find us. Shion and I said our goodbyes to Tomatake-san and Takano-san. But before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us.
Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I had to say. You're just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you.
Good at listening? No, not at all. I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me one after another.
Did you like my story today?
That was pretty interesting.
Then I'll tell you some more sometime, okay? There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Hinamizawa. Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones, too. I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you about them.
I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. Can't help but smile dryly and scratch at my head.
Keiichi-kun, you can go now. Takano-san is just messing with you.
They say goodbye again and run off. I heard Tomatake-san call out behind him in a clear voice that we could see each other at the festival tomorrow. When I went to the tent Mion was waiting for me in, she was nowhere to be found. I made her wait for so long that maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard she went home talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But my regret for having made Mion wait wasn't enough to triumph over the impression Takano-san and Shion's uncurious story left on me. Serial murder incidents had happened 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Hinamizawa was carrying this all out under the guise of a curse. The queer tradition of ritual sacrifice, entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. None of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, and I should have just let Mion pull me away from that crowd. Felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me.
Hey.
So, thoughts?
Lots of thoughts. I'm gonna sidebar all my thoughts about this and what this says about my theories from earlier in this episode, and for nice. We'll go through all those next episode as well. So next episode, look forward to us going through all the tips. Me talking about how I think this relates to my theories about Chapter 1 and my theories early in Chapter 2, and what I think will be going on in the future.
All right.
Enjoy the extra long episode, everyone.
Peace.
Peace.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.
Oh, hey. Welcome. You remembered that there was going to be an Umineko spoiler discussion section.
I didn't.
I did. So again, this is your last chance if you are listening on the playlist or just watching on YouTube. Click away to another video if you don't want to get spoiled about Umineko. And you shouldn't, because it's a fun mystery and you should go have fun with it yourself. Okay. So there were two things I wanted to bring up.
What
There's
were
one I
they?
wanted to bring up earlier and one that kind of came up later on. One was how Ryukishi uses blatantly uncomfortable sexual imagery. It's clear from how he writes, at least in Umineko, that we're not supposed to feel comfortable with it. We are supposed to feel revolted and stuff. But in Umineko, that whole, think about the scene with Erika placing the wedding ring on Battler's finger, right? That was meant to clue us into what had happened to Beatrice II. Right? So, on the first chapter, I mentioned that, maybe the incident with the 4 men might have been assault of some kind. This whole very overt and very aggressively uncomfortable description of that kind of sexual assault which is what it is, trying to force someone to touch your genitalia. That's sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of very uncomfortable and painfully in-your-face description of it, I wonder if that's also meant to hint at what I thought might have been going on with between the foreman and Mion. Because I did say earlier it had that kind of tenor to it that it might have felt like some kind of assault of some kind. And having read Umineko first, I see a scene like that and I'm thinking, what is that providing? It is making me feel revulsion about this because I'm meant to feel revolted about this. Because it's relevant in some other context. Right. That was my first thought that I wanted to get out there. My second one kind of came up very late there. We see that Mio Takano is a storyteller character.
Yeah.
And knowing what we do about having played Umineko, Ryukishi loves writing stories about stories, and stories about people who write stories. So having a character that is very much now not just kind of on the sidelines. She didn't really have much of a presence in EP1 other than being like, hi, I'm here. Not much to latch on. Like, my page of notes on her is, like, not even half full. There wasn't much to go on. But her being a storyteller character immediately puts me on high alert. Because whatever we find out what the framing device for this game looks like, it's likely to involve stories or people telling stories. And characters who are storytellers are always of far, far greater importance in Ryukishi's, at least in Umineko, than one would imagine. Which I know is a bullet point of a data point of 1, but still, like the characters of Hashijo Toya, Ikugo, and Angie herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sayo as well. All authors, all writing about these worlds, trying to convey something. Anyway, I'm not trying to make any specific claims about her yet, but I am kind of like on high alert now with Mio. Being like, what is your angle on all this? You're a collector of folk tales and folklore and fairy tales.
Especially the creepy ones.
So what is your actual angle here then? Anyway, that's all I wanted to say in the Umineko spoiler section. So, again, hope you all enjoyed the super extra long episode. We'll see you next time for more Watanagashi.
Hell yeah.